Where's my damn notes? There we go. Copious notes for you. Week 3 of the 2019 college football season is in the books, and you know what that means? Another list of losers this week. Man, some surprises this week in the loser category. Some of them hurt me a little because I thought these teams were going to make it a little longer without ending up on this list here. But unfortunately, here we go. These teams here, your season is over. Georgia Tech. I could have put Georgia Tech on this list really before the season started. Most people with any sense, football sense that is, which Georgia Tech fans have none of that. They make that obvious every time they comment down below. It should have known Georgia Tech season was over before it started. They just have no chance to do anything meaningful this year. They've been recruiting option players for 11 years. They bring Jeff Collins in, revamp the offense, thinking it's going to do anything year one. No, but I don't know how many people saw you losing to the Citadel. And the thing is, this is hilarious, not just because you lost to the Citadel, which is just, when's the last time a Power 5 team lost to the Citadel? Oh yeah. Another one of my favorite punching bags. But what made this especially funny, really, other than the fact that you lost to a terrible team, is that they run the triple option. That's hilarious. They beat you with one completed pass. Game goes to overtime. You can't win. You catch a giant L here to the Citadel. But somebody in the comment section yesterday, when I made the video laughing at Georgia Tech after the game, somebody in the comment section got butthurt because they felt I was somehow making fun of the Citadel because I laughed at Georgia Tech for losing to them. And I don't know, they went on one of these soliloquies in the comment section where they type a thesis out, basically telling me I need to respect the Citadel because they have some kind of general there that did this or that against ISIS and blah, blah. Listen, man, this is a football channel, okay? Don't come in here with that nonsense, man. If you took anything I said yesterday as an insult to the Citadel, something's wrong with you. But since you brought it up, sir, nothing is off limits on this channel. So since you brought it up, find anybody watching. Go to Walmart today. Stop the first 100 people you see. Ask them to name the military academies. How many will they name before they get to the Citadel? 4? 5? How many of them will even name the Citadel at all? 10%? 15? So get off your high horse, sir. Yesterday's video had nothing to do with clowning the Citadel or the military. I'm not responsible for the shape of your feelings, sir. And they're destroyed. And there's nothing I'm willing to do about that. So I don't know what to tell you. I wish I remembered your name. I'd put you on the season is over list, sir, because you're an absolute idiot. But Georgia Tech, your season is over. Sorry. Southern Cal. What happened? Because, okay, first of all, everybody thought Southern Cal was going to be terrible this year to start with because, well, Clay Helton doesn't know what the hell he's doing. That's apparent. You go 5 wins last year at Southern Cal. That's unacceptable. That's almost Willie Taggart level bad. More on that in a minute, criminal fans. Don't worry. But you go out and lose yesterday to BYU. And I don't want anybody to try to tell me BYU is a good team. How do I know? They barely beat Tennessee. And Tennessee is one of the worst programs and football teams in America. So no, BYU's not any good. Congratulations for beating Stanford last week, Southern Cal. Something Central Florida managed to do yesterday without a problem. So I guess you're hanging your hat on a win over a terrible Stanford team that didn't even have their starting quarterback. Yes, I know you didn't have yours either, but that's neither here nor there for the purposes of this video. So anyway, Urban Meyer's licking his lips watching Southern Cal. And listen, these first 3 games were some of the easiest on... Check Southern Cal's schedule. It doesn't get a whole lot easier for the Trojans. They got Utah coming up this week. They're going to get boat raced. Utah has looked really, really good. I'm talking borderline top 10 good. Hide and watch. They'll be in the comments. This guy said Utah. Yeah, Utah. Hide and watch. Try watching some games outside of the ones your team plays in every week. Might find that it does you a little bit of good. But Clay Helton, career teetering. Southern Cal, season over. Who's next on the doo-doo list? Michigan State, man. Best defense in America, without question, in my opinion. And defense played great again yesterday. But just absolutely no offense. And they had this problem last year And I fell for it. They had a ton of injuries on offense last year. Quarterback went down. At one point during the season, their quarterback, their best running back, and their best wide receiver were all out at the same time. Of their 11 starters on offense last year, 9 of them missed time due to injuries. And you're like, okay, well, yeah, they had a bad year, but all these guys are coming back. The defense will be great again, which it is. But this offense is absolutely putrid. It's unwatchable, okay? I don't know what's going on in the state of Michigan, but it's not good in terms of offense. D'Antonio, wait, Dan? Jim Harbaugh, stop taking these kids on mission trips to the Pope and all this kind of what I mean, if a football practice, Harbaugh, less mission trips, more football practice, okay? You're not BYU. Get it together with the offense, but this isn't about Michigan. This is about Michigan State. Sparty, you got no offense. I don't know. I mean, it's just disappointing, okay? There ain't a single team in the Pac-12, honestly, that should be competing with you. There's not. And you lost for no good reason. Who'd you even lose to? Arizona State? How do you send 12 men onto the field for a field goal? This is mind-boggling. It really is. Is there even a second string field goal team? Like, how is that 12th guy going, I think I'm supposed to be out there? Like, I don't understand that. How do you send 12 men out to kick a field goal? I don't know that I've ever seen that before. And, just like these coaches will call a timeout to ice the kicker, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You basically iced yourself here, Michigan State, and backed yourself up in the process with this stupid 12 men on the field penalty. But you make the field goal, but you got 12 men on the field. So they take the points off the board, they back you up, and guess what happens? You miss the field goal. This game should not have come down to a field goal. You're Michigan State. They're Arizona State. You should have handled them without a problem. Sparty, your season is over. Who else we're going to put on this list today? Kentucky. My God. I thought Kentucky got the Florida monkey off its back last year. But what I saw last night in that Florida-Kentucky game is really the same thing I've been seeing from Kentucky against Florida for a lot of the last 31 years, which is Kentucky has the better team. Kentucky outplayed Florida. Kentucky wanted it more. Kentucky found a way to lose. This was absolutely pitiful, Kentucky. And Florida fans, before you get anywhere around this comment section beating your chest, you are not a top 10 team. In fact, you're not even close, Jack. So all you idiots that was clowning me when I took Florida out of my top 10 last week, or the week before, for barely beating a terrible, terrible Miami team. Oh, the idiot don't know what he's doing, just a stupid homer. Florida's nowhere near a top team. They're terrible. And my question to Florida fan, Franks goes down, which, I hate injuries. It looked bad. I doubt we'll see him the rest of the year. I wish him a quick recovery and all that kind of stuff. But Franks goes down. Trask comes in. You're down 19. He leads you back to the win. Florida fans are everywhere with, I knew Trask was the better quarterback. I don't know why we stuck with Franks as long as we did. Everybody knew Trask was better. Everybody except one person. Guess who that was? Dan Mullet. Now, this offensive genius, quarterback guru, all this stuff we've heard from Florida fans for the last year and a half since you hired this ass clown that's been a head coach in the SEC for 10 years and can't even win a division once. All we've heard, look what he did to Nick Fitzgerald. Look what he did to Dak Prescott. He could take average quarterbacks and turn them into gold. He's just an offensive genius. This offensive genius that you've been preaching about for the last year and a half didn't know that Trask was better than Franks. Is that what you're telling me? When you tell me Trask should have been in, I knew. Are you telling me that Dan Mullet is just stupid? Is that what you're telling me, Florida fan? Let me know down below. I don't know. But because I don't understand. But listen, Kentucky, you got to quit doing. I don't understand how a team can find this many different ways to lose to Florida. The missed field goal, stupid penalties. I mean, it was just you just could see it snowballing there in the fourth quarter, and you said, "Well, this just isn't going to end well." And then, even when it really was sort of over, but not really, you had a couple of timeouts there, and you had a chance to get the ball back with like 40 seconds or something. You let Florida, who has no running game at all, I mean, one of the worst running games in America this year, you let them on, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, when you know they're running the ball because the idea is to run the clock out and make you use your timeout. You let them take a jet sweep like 70 yards on you for the touchdown, which, it was over at that point for real. But it's just Kentucky, man. Again, better players, played better, a better team. Found a way to lose, though. At home, it's just mind-boggling stuff. But Kentucky, your season is over. I mean, you got a few more losses coming. I was impressed with Tom Sawyer or whatever the hell that quarterback's name is, Huck Finn's cousin. I don't know, whatever it is. He played better than I thought he would. The running back Smoke played pretty good. Everybody knew about Lynn Bowden, but your defense played well, especially against the run. But then Trask came in and you went into some sort of soft zone coverage. It made no sense at all. You never switched up. You played that zone. And Dan Mullet just figured it out in the fourth quarter, and you refused to change it. You just kept running it, and you got burned over and over again by Kyle Trask. But it is what it is. Kentucky, your season is over. So how many teams was that? Georgia Tech, Michigan State, Kentucky, and Southern Cal. Oh, yeah, for those teams, your season is over. Plenty of other teams crapped the bed yesterday, though. Mississippi State lost to Kansas State. Of course, I predicted that. Kansas State a lot better than people think. And Chris Kleiman, a hell of a coach. Tennessee should take notes. That's how you go out and find a coach. That Kansas State coach is going to be the real deal. Hide and watch. Maryland. We can stop pretending they're an elite team, can't we? Yeah, found a way to lose to Temple 20-17. Been scoring 70 points a game average. Beat Syracuse like they owed them money. But come out yesterday against Temple like they never played offense before. Lose 20-17. North Carolina, you lost to Wake Forest. Yeah, cry down below. There should have been a second left on the clock. To be honest, if you were really that good of a team, it wouldn't have been this close at the end against Wake Forest. But congrats on your amazing win over South Carolina and Miami, but your season's over. Boston College, Jesus H Christ, I don't know what the H stands for, but how do you give up 48 points to Kansas? Kansas might not score 48 points the rest of the year. Ridiculous, terrible, embarrassing performance. Florida State, you lost to Virginia. At this point, it's not a surprise. Everyone saw it coming. This was a wild game at the end, too. Crazy game at the end. But yeah, you lost, but everyone knew that was going to happen. You're just a terrible team with a terrible coach who doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, how many different ways can I tell you? NC State, you lost to a terrible West Virginia team. The ACC is just an absolute dumpster fire. UCLA, 48-14. I'm surprised it wasn't a lot worse than that. UCLA is terrible. They gave away tickets to that game because nobody wants to come. It's not a joke. I'm being serious. They literally gave away 4 free tickets to every season ticket holder. They take 4 of their friends to the game for free. Just pitiful. And there was still nobody there. Embarrassing. Stanford, you got ran out of the stadium by Central Florida. Everybody saw that coming, didn't they? Colorado catches their first loss to Air Force. In-state rivalry. They hadn't played this game in like 40 years because Air Force got mad because Colorado, on the campus of Colorado, there was some anti-war protests in the 70s. Air Force got mad, said, that's it. We're never playing you again. They changed their mind, come down there this year and beat you. So Mel Tucker catches his first loss. Those teams lost. I mean, it's just what it is. I say this every week. I'll say it again. Unfortunately, half the teams that play every single week have to lose. And there's your list of teams that found a way to do it this week. So, I don't know. See you in the offseason, I guess. Now, there were some teams that came close to lose. They won, but they looked pretty bad doing it, didn't they? Minnesota's a terrible team. PJ Fleck, man, they propped this guy up like he was the next coming of Bear Bryant, didn't they? And all he's done is go out and crap the bed week in and week out. Yeah, you beat Georgia Southern this week, 35-32. How many terrible teams are you going to barely beat this year? Minnesota's just not a good team. Penn State, you won 17-10 against a terrible Pitt team. Penn State, a lot like Maryland, but at least Penn State found a way to win. Maryland found a way to lose. But Penn State comes out, scores a bunch of points first couple of weeks. People are like, oh my God, look at Penn State. Come out against Pitt, score 17. But like I said, you did win. Pitt's a one-win team. You should have beat them worse than that, but you didn't. But you won and you look bad. Congratulations. Virginia Tech was losing to Furman for some points of this game, but they ended up winning 24-17. Tried to repeat an Old Dominion disaster from last year. Virginia Tech, not a good team. What's the guy's name? Justin Fuentes? I don't know. I don't speak Mexican. You need to ask for a refund on this guy. Turns out Bronco Mendenhall, the way better coach in the state of Virginia over the last 3 or 4 years. Fuente not getting it done there. Alabama, you beat South Carolina 47-23. Let's be real, you did not look good, and the referees helped you out immensely in this game. And I'm not one of these people that thinks the referees are constantly in the pocket for Alabama. I'm not. I've made several videos about it and how people just cry and use it as an excuse because Alabama just whips them. Now, Alabama would have won this game regardless, but there were several things that happened in this game that made you scratch your head in terms of what the referees did here. Would it have made a difference in who won the game? No. But Alabama, you can't run the ball. Your pass defense is suspect at best, and I question your ability to stop the run, particularly up the middle. You didn't look that impressive yesterday. I'll just be honest. You didn't look impressive in the first half against Duke either. So both your games against Power 5 teams, you haven't looked as dominant and as impressive as some of the other top 3, 4, or 5 teams. Just my opinion. Cry about it if you want to, but honestly, might have to go back to the Alabama is average thing from a couple of years ago, because outside of Tua Tabaga throwing slant routes to the 3 best wide receivers in all of America, you really don't have anything else going for you. And that's just the truth, including no field goal kicker again. I don't understand this for the life of me. You've had no field goal kicker since Jimmy originally cracked corn. You refuse to recruit a good one. Finally, Nick Saban has had enough, goes out and signs the #1 high school kicker in all of America for the 2019 class. He promptly shows up in Tuscaloosa, misses a chip shot field goal in week 1, misses a field goal yesterday against South Carolina. I just don't understand what it is, if it's some sort of curse of Forrest Gump or what, but your field goal kicking situation is just a disaster yet again. Alabama, you won, but you didn't look good. Deal with it. All right, who's the best teams in no particular order that I saw this past weekend? Georgia, Oklahoma, Clemson, although Trevor Lawrence is not, we need to put a Amber Alert or an APB or a BOLO, be on the lookout for the 2018 version of Trevor Lawrence, because he has yet to reveal himself in 2019. Through 3 games where Clemson has not played very good teams, Trevor Lawrence has 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. I believe that's more interceptions than he had all of last year, or maybe the same amount. So I don't know what's going on with Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, I do. They had him juiced up last year, and now they can't do it anymore because they got caught by the NCAA. So now, it is what it is. I don't know what's going on with him. Now, the good news is you don't play anybody until January. So you got till then to figure it out. But so Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma. Who else looked good? Who are the best teams? You tell me. Those are the best teams in my opinion. LSU, a little sluggish in the beginning yesterday. To be expected, I think, after the big win the week before. But you ended up rolling. Notre Dame struggled in the first half. Listen, Notre Dame struggled running the ball. They struggled stopping the run. Ian Book didn't look good in the first half. Boy, it's going to be a disaster for you this coming week, Notre Dame, and I got plenty for you. Don't worry. I know your feelings are hurt already just from watching this video, but I'm just you ain't seen nothing yet, buddy. Yeah, you ain't seen nothing. I can't put Alabama in the best teams list this week. They just they don't look. It doesn't look like the same Alabama to me. I don't know. And I was on Twitter yesterday and some other places, and I know here on this channel, no one ever wants to admit that their team is anything other than the greatest team ever. But I talked to a lot of Alabama fans yesterday who feel the same way. So I don't know what else to tell you. Top 10 list coming out later today.